Hello, YouTube. We are back again with another tutorial series video. This one, I labeled it controller tutorial, but if we're being honest, this is actually both beneficial for controller and mouse and keyboard. It's more beneficial for controller because rotational aim assist is going to play a big part in this technique in winning more gunfights, making people miss. But if you play mouse or are interested in playing mouse, this is actually the way you want to take up like 80 to 90% of your fights because you don't have aim assist and you have to do all the tracking manually and recentering on a moving target, especially in a game like BO6 with Omni movement or any game. Like I said, these techniques can apply to any FPS games. I'm tailoring them to BO6 to Call of Duty, but any game with aim assist, any game where you can play controller or mouse and keyboard, you can probably benefit from these. But for the sake of Call of Duty, more beneficial for controller, but absolutely same exact logic applies to mouse and keyboard. So let's begin. Today we are going to go over make enemies miss more and win more gunfights. Now, how are we going to do that? Well, we will show you. So this is just filler footage in the background. I'm gonna, as usual, I'm gonna go into the details of what the technique is, how to practice it, how to ramp it up. There are levels to start the technique, and then getting better over time. And then for now, you could just see some minor in-game footage of centering and playing the angles and things like that, which I've talked about in my other videos. Okay, so hip fire to ADS, aim assist, and first to fire. So this is why I said earlier. Controller is probably gonna get the most benefit from this because aim assist plays a big role when you're in hip fire POV, when you're not ADS'd in. Aim assist basically gives you that rotational bubble that kind of keeps you on target. So when you're hip firing and let's say you're strafing left to right, you're gonna kind of stay in that enemy bubble. You're not doing a lot of manual tracking. So for controller, this is great. For mouse, you have to do all that manually. But if you look at my mouse tutorial video, part 1, I go into a lot of detail why hip firing to ADS on mouse is so crucial. So hip fire to ADS on controller. Why is this beneficial? It's beneficial because it makes you a harder target to hit because you tend to break people's cameras. On top of the fact that aim assist basically keeps you in that bubble, right? And you tend to get first shots on your enemies. So there's the camera break I talked about, and I'll show you what I mean. So the camera break is when I'm in hip fire mode right here, and let's get a line going here. We'll get an arrow. So when I'm in hip fire mode here, my enemy is going to tend to ADS first. So he's looking in this direction, but obviously I'm not over here to the left. So what's going to happen when he starts shooting here and missing, I'm going to get these clean shots at him over here, right? So let's take a look at that. You see, and I was able to win that gunfight. Sure, he got shots on me, but because I transitioned into a hip fire and basically my body moves over to the side in game, if he's shooting straight or if they're shooting straight at me and I transition into a sideways hip fire, then that gives me the advantage where they're not looking right at me, you see? As I come around the corner, they're going to quickly ADS to try to shoot me. My body's going to turn when I go into the hip fire. And I'm able to win that gunfight a lot easier. And rotational aim assist keeps me on target. So we'll see another example here. And this works at distance too. I know there's a guy here. First shot advantage. So see, look at the camera break again. This person comes around a corner, right? I transition into a hip fire. They're looking this way where I was. I'm not there anymore. So by them looking in the wrong direction, by breaking their camera, I'm going to get the first shot. And you can see the hit marker right here. So here's the hit marker. I got the first shot on this person. Already, I have the advantage on this fight. I'm getting first shots. They're not, their camera's broken. They're looking in the wrong direction. Now they have to target acquire me, but I'm already shooting them, right? So this is how I have the advantage in this gunfight. That's an easy fight to win. So this is why transitioning from, look, right here, I'm full ADS right here, right? They're looking at me, I'm looking at them. But I'm going to make myself a harder target to hit by transitioning into hip fire, because in game, my character's physical body turns to the side. Now, if your enemy is not expecting your body to turn, they're just going to keep shooting straight at you. And then your body's going to turn, they're going to miss. So now you, in a way, take the advantage of the fight, because they go from, oh, we're both looking at each other, ADS, boom, I turn my body, you miss. Now I have clear shots on you. Right there. See, there's the camera break. See what I mean? As soon as I turn my body into ADS, I become a harder target to hit, and they miss. And look, you can even see it right here. You could see their shots. You could see their shot right here. Where is it? This is their shot right here, missing. Because they're shooting straight where I was, but I'm not there anymore. My hip fire moves me over to the right. They're shooting where I was. I'm breaking their camera, and I become harder to hit. So now I have an advantage in this fight. I could win this fight, even though we were both face-to-face ADS at each other a second ago, right? So there you go. Boom. I win that fight. Seems easy, right? But the best players are doing this all the time. They're doing this all the time. And that's why you've probably found yourself in gunfights and you're just like, I had him dead to rights. I don't even understand. Or you might be like, damn, how did he strafe so fast? The reason why it looks like they're strafing so fast is because they're transitioning from ADS to hip fire. It's just the way the way the mechanic of the game is built. When you transition in and out of hip fire, it looks like a really fast strafe. And even with aim assist, you'll have trouble keeping up with them. So that's why it's so important to center. Look at my other video. I have another video literally called centering. It's so important to center. And then it's so important to understand rotational aim assist, because I have my left thumbstick fully engaged in this fight. Even though I'm swinging over to the right, I'm staying on target, right? I'm staying on target, and I can hit those shots. Boom. You see how quickly that happened? We went from ADS to hip fire. There's my first shot. I have the fight advantage here. I already hit my first shot. They're still seeing me in ADS because I'm mid motion transition here. They start firing. I'm not there anymore. I'm 2 shots in already, right? I'm 2 shots in. They haven't hit me once. And then I'm transitioning in and out. I'm becoming a harder target to hit. And I'm using rotational aim. Boom. Easy gunfight to win. The best players are doing this all the time. All the time. So this is why I'm saying these are the techniques that you need to start putting into your tool bag. And you need to build the muscle memory. So when you're in game, doesn't matter if it's multiplayer, if it's Warzone, if it's Resurgence, it doesn't matter. You want to practice this stuff if you're not already doing it, so that it becomes second nature. It has to become as second nature as when you hit ADS and that shoot button. You don't have to think about doing that, right? You just do it. The same thing with going into hipfire, back into ADS, back into hipfire, back into ADS. It has to become muscle memory. You don't think about it. You just react, right? So same thing here. I'm looking for a target. So boom, I spot my enemy. I know he sees me, right? I know they see me. This is the way most gunfights go in this game, right? You both spotted each other. This enemy over here is gonna instantly try to ADS to start putting shots on you. Normally, you would do the same, right? You'd ADS and think, all right, 50-50 fight, right? who's gonna get first shot, who's gonna win. But this is where you're gonna combine hip fire ADS, break camera, become harder to hit, and get that first shot advantage. So here we go. We spot each other. Boom. I move in. I get my first hip fire shot. I break his camera. When I stand up, transition in and out. I win that gunfight. Right? You've been in plenty of these. Like I said, 50-50. You see each other at the same time. And, okay, who's going to win this fight? Well, who's going to use better technique? I'm going to use better technique because I'm going to go in and out of hip fire. Get first few shots, I win. Same thing here. In and out of hip fire, I win that fight. Right? So, and this is what I said at the beginning. If you're on controller, aim assist is your best friend. I said that like two videos ago. Aim assist is your best friend. And how do you keep aim assist engaged? Left thumbstick. You always want to be engaging your left thumbstick. That means pulling your thumbstick to the left, pulling thumbstick to the right. It doesn't matter. I don't care which direction you choose. You always want to be using your left thumbstick. You never want to take on fights where you're just standing still, only using your right thumbstick. On controller, that is how you're going to lose most of your fights. If you are not engaging your left thumbstick, you are going to lose most of your fights. You need to let aim assist work for you. It's designed for that. It's in the game for that. So take advantage of it, all right? Aim assist keeps me on target. I'll show you here. See, I got off target right there. You see how it shifted to the left. I was dead center right here. I'm ADS. I had a shot. I transitioned to hip fire. I didn't need to, but I did it. But when I transitioned to hip fire, watch how my hit marker starts moving to the left because this person is strafing. They're strafing to my right. So I get off center right there. I'm off center. But because I'm engaging my left stick, I'm able to track him. See, ADS, aim assist brings me back on target. Hip fire, ADS, back on target. I let aim assist work for me. Okay? Same thing here. You could do this at a little bit of a distance too. Hip fire to ADS. Okay, I'm gonna heal up. I know where he is. Hip fire ADS, hip fire ADS. I win that gunfight. If I just stand there and try to ADS through that fight, I lose this right here because he has me dead to rights and I'm behind the ledge, which means if they're hitting me right here, they have to be getting chest and headshots because I'm behind a barrier. But what happens? Once I feel like, okay, they're hitting shots, I'm hitting shots, but they're not dead yet, I go into a hip fire. I go back and forth. Why? Because every time I go into hip fire, remember, my character's body moves to the side. I make them miss, and then I keep recentering to win the gunfight. This is why I say this technique is so important, especially if you're on mouse. Because again, this is with aim assist. So you got to imagine how much harder this is for a mouse player with no aim assist. I know because I play both inputs and I tend to play more mouse because I prefer mouse. Now, I'm doing these tutorials for controller because as someone who plays dual input, I feel like I can contribute to both controller players and mouse and players. Now, granted, remember, I'm not a pro by any means. I'm just a guy making, beginner tutorials to help out people who feel stuck, people who might be new to controller, who might be new to mouse and keyboard, people who may not be understanding, hey man, why am I losing these fights? How come I'm dying a lot? How come I'm missing so much? These are just beginner guides. Now, you could take these and become an elite player. This is all gonna matter. This is all gonna be based on your time in game, your practice, your dedication. I make no guarantees. So, all right. Sorry, I had a little tangent there. So censoring with hip fire. So this is what I mean. We do these. You ramp these up. Like let's say, okay, well, how do I learn this? How do I get good at this? Well, we start with the basics and we ramp it up. This is an exercise. Let's say we're training for a marathon. Guess what? If you're not a runner, you don't go on day one, put on your running shoes and try to run 26 miles. You'll never make it. In fact, you'll actually get hurt. So how do we get to 26 miles? Well, first we start with, we need to pick some good running shoes. Then we start with, let's just run for, 10 minutes today. Let's see how far we get at a controlled pace. And then from there, You say, okay, tomorrow I'm gonna run 30 minutes. The next day I'm gonna run an hour, and then you start doing distances. Hey, I'm gonna try 3 miles. I'm gonna try 5 miles, and you build up to it. It's the same thing here. We start with centering. Put on a bot lobby. Put on some recruit bots, not too many. Reason I say recruit is because you don't really want them killing you too instantly if you put them on like hardened or veteran. And in the beginning, you're not even gonna shoot. You're gonna look at your reticle in the center of your screen, your center dot, and all I want you to do is in hipfire, you're gonna run around the map and just focus on keeping that center dot on an enemy. That's it. That's all I want you to do. Now, you can do this as short or as long as you want to. You want to do this for a minute. You want to do this for 30 minutes. It's 100% up to you where you feel you need the practice, right? And also, this is going to help figure out your sensitivity, because maybe your sensitivity is too slow, or maybe your sensitivity is too fast and you're having trouble centering. And that could be why you're losing your gunfights. Maybe you've been playing on the wrong sensitivity this whole time because you saw a video who said, hey, this pro uses this, so I'm going to use this. Or someone you know told you, run my sensitivity. Trust me, that's how I get kills. But we're not all the same, right? We don't all run at the same speed. We don't all have the same training. So somebody else's sensitivity might not be right for you. And maybe you've been forcing yourself to play through somebody else's sensitivity that is wrong for you this whole time. Maybe you need to speed it up. Maybe you need to slow it down. But anyways, so all I'm doing with this is, look, I'm just trying to center my center dot. I'm just trying to center my center dot. I'm not doing anything else. I'm not shooting. I'm just making sure, okay, my sensitivity feels good. Center and hip fire, sensitivity feels good. Okay, I have the sensitivity I need. Same thing. We just keep doing it. You just keep practicing it. You're not going to shoot anybody. You're just going to run side to side. Practice your centering. And this is going to help with the aim assist, because you're going to feel the aim assist kind of giving you that little magnetism pull as you're doing these rotations, right? That's the rotational aim assist. Rotational aim assist also works in hipfire. This is not just an ADS thing, all right? So practice this. Figure out your sensitivity. I'm not going to tell you what sense I'm running because, like I just said previously, everyone's sensitivity is different. The muscles in your hand work differently. Your muscle memory is different than my muscle memory. Some people like to play faster. Some people like to play slower. Find a sensitivity that allows you to center on these bots while in hipfire. And wherever you feel comfortable, I don't care how fast it is. I don't care how slow it is. Wherever you feel comfortable, then that will be your sensitivity. All right? And then you just practice that for a little bit. Like I said, doesn't matter. A minute, 5 minutes. Practice it until it feels natural, where you can just run around and center on somebody and you don't feel like you're trying too hard, right? So then after that, we're going to start adding movement. Why? Because this is BO6 after all, and I believe Omni movement is kind of here to stay. But if you play any FPS, you understand sliding is involved. You slide in Apex, in Fortnite, in Call of Duty. People are moving. Very rare are you going to be fighting someone who's standing still. So now we start centering with hipfire, but now we start adding some slides, right? So this is like, okay, we're a week into our running training, and now we're running a little further now, right? So you want to keep centering while sliding now. So now step 3. Well, step 2, because I kind of counted the other one as step 1. But okay, step 2. So now we're going to do slide, the same hipfire centering with the sliding, but now we're going to start adding some ADSs in, because now we're building that muscle memory I mentioned, where we want to learn how to naturally transition from hipfire to ADS, back to hipfire to ADS. So when you're in those gunfights, you're doing this quickly. It's second nature. You're not thinking about it, right? We want to build that memory. When you go out there and you're a month into your training and you want to just run 5 miles, it's easy for you. You've been running for a month already. 5 miles, cake. I could do this without yawning, without breaking a sweat. I mean, you might sweat, but I could do 5 miles right off the couch. I don't got to think about this, right? I've been training for a month. So we're going to start. We want to build that muscle memory. Same thing here. So now we're centering, sliding, ADS. Centering, ADS. Slide, ADS. Center, center, ADS. Center, ADS. Center, ADS. We just want to practice this. We want to build the memory. We want to get your hands warmed up, ready to go, right? So now we've been practicing this for a while. Now we're gonna put it all together, right? We're gonna do ADS to hip fire, alternating. Now we're gonna go a little quicker. And again, you're gonna do this at your speed. So hip fire ADS, hip fire ADS. Now we're gonna do a little quicker. We gotta build that left right trigger discipline, right? Use rotational aim assist to stay on target. But now you're gonna go a little faster here. Same thing here. Hip fire ADS, slide, hip fire ADS. Just start putting it all together. You're gonna build up to this. You're gonna build up to this. It's all just building muscle memory right now. So when you're in game, this stuff is gonna happen naturally. You're not gonna think about it. It's gonna be as natural as just shooting, the way you've always done in Call of Duty. See right there. See, quick. Centering, quick. Slide, quick. ADS hip fire, quick. Just put all the fundamentals together, right? And then the next phase is transitioning from actually shooting. So first shot, remember I said you want that first shot advantage. So what do? When we center, while we're still hip fired, we want to take the first few shots and then transition into ADS. First few shots as hip fire, then transition into ADS. You want those first shots advantage. Your enemy's already weak before they even engage in a fight back at you. All right? Same fundamentals. Center, hip fire, ADS. Center, hip fire, ADS. Center, hip fire, ADS. Hip fire, ADS. Hip fire, ADS. Center, hip fire, ADS. It's all just an exercise, right? We're not doing anything fancy. We're just building up from where we started. Hip fire, ADS. Hip fire, ADS. It's the same thing we did. Remember, we started with just centering. We weren't even shooting. Then we went from centering and sliding. Then we went from centering and sliding to ADS. We're just building it up. We're not doing anything special. The reason why a lot of players look like demons, and the reason why they are demons is because they have built their skill up to this. You know, they are the people who you walk into the gym. They've been working out for 3 years. They're in perfect shape. They look like they know everything. And the reason why they look like they know everything is because they've been doing this for a while. This is your first day. This is your first month. You're in month 3. They're in year 3, right? So they make it look easy, but they had to build up to that. And that's where we're going to get you. We're going to build you up to that. Now, the more you practice, the more you play, the faster you're going to get there, you know? Not saying it's going to take you 3 years. You know, I'm just being metaphorical, of course. So, same thing here. Center, hip fire, ADS. Just keep practicing it. You know? Just keep practicing it. Center, hip fire, ADS. Centering so important. And then we start adding the shots with the alternating hip fire, ADS, hip fire, ADS. You know, we go a little quicker now. We go a little quicker. See right here, we go a little quicker. Hip fire, ADS, in and out. Same thing here. Hip fire, ADS, in and out. We're just gonna build it up. But look, see how I'm always centering first. I'm always making sure that I'm centered. It's so important. And so that's basically it. Now, might seem like a basic technique, but I want you to understand, if you pay attention to your own gameplay, if you're a person who clips your gameplay, or if not, next time you play, pay attention. If you go up against some of the better players, you're gonna notice they look like they're strafing really fast. You know, they look like they're moving around really fast. A lot of it is this. A lot of it is they're transitioning in and out of hip fire. I could tell you, like I said, from experience, if you're a mouse player, this is 90% of our gunfights, because when you're on mouse, there is no aim assist. There's no assist of any kind. All the tracking that mouse players are doing when they look like, oh man, there's no way, he must have aimbot. A lot of these people are just very skilled, and they practice a lot. They do aim training a lot. I have over 400 hours of aim training, and that's low compared to some of these people. Some of these mouse players out here, they have well over 1,000, 2,000 hours of aim training, and that's not counting how many thousands of hours they have playing the actual games themselves, right? So, from experience, I could tell you, sure, yes, there are cheaters out there, but a lot of players are just really, really, really good because they understand the fundamentals and they apply them in all their gunfights over and over and over again. You got to understand with Call of Duty, it's like anything else. It's just a constant gameplay loop. It's just a constant gameplay loop. You do the same things over and over and over again. And the players who practice, understand the basics, understand the fundamentals, they just become better because it's all second nature to them. They're doing these things without thinking, right? They're doing these things without thinking. To them, it's just like working out every day. You ask a person who runs every day, damn, how are you so good at running? I run every day. Somebody who goes to the gym every day and lifts, man, how do you get in such good shape? I work out every day. Somebody who seems really ripped, cut, whatever, damn man, how do you get a body like that? I eat healthy every day. That's it. There's no magic to this. It's the same thing with Call of Duty. It's the same thing with Apex. The same thing with Fortnite. The same thing with any game. How do the best players become the best players? They do it every day. They do the fundamentals every day, every gunfight, every game, over and over and over again. And that's how they get so good. And that's the key, is because a lot of players are simply not applying fundamentals in their gunfights. A lot of times, like and I'm guilty of this too. Sometimes we get a little too relaxed. Sometimes, because we just trying to play a video game, right? We just trying to chill. We just trying to have a good time. So I get it. But the best players they're very competitive, and it's an internal thing for them. They're very competitive. So every game, every gunfight, every rotation, every movement they make, it's with that competitive mindset. It's literally like going to the gym. It's an exercise for them. And they got to make sure every rep is perfect so they don't get hurt. They got to make sure every rep is effective so they don't waste their time in the gym. They got to make sure everything they eat is clean so they don't break their diet. And that's the difference between the very best dedicated people and your average to below average player. Is a lot of times we just kind of get a little too laid back, and they don't. And that's the difference. Remember the fundamentals, practice the fundamentals, build the repetition and the muscle memory, and you're going to instantly see how much easier the game feels and how much better you will become. So, I hope this guide helps you. I hope you guys apply it, and I genuinely hope this makes you all better players. And if you haven't liked or subscribed, please do. If you don't, that's okay. I still appreciate your time watching this. And if you have any suggestions for something you want to see, something you want me to explain, something you want me to go over, leave it in the comments, and I'll be more than glad to help you with that. So that's all I got.